The biggest rivalry in sports. The Ohio State Buckeyes. The Michigan Wolverines. The Rivalry.
Welcome into the beautiful city of Columbus, Ohio, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, where 100,000 plus, will fill the shoe as the Wolverines of Michigan make the trip south for this rivalry game. Thank you all for tuning in to the special edition of the Rivalry Show on WTOL 11. It's an exciting but chilly afternoon here in Columbus, as I'm Tyler Segerman.
And I'm Noelle Blumel. Tyler, chilly is correct, but it's just so crazy to think that this game is already here. It feels like just yesterday we were up in Ann Arbor, freezing up there, and now we're doing it all over again, but it's scarlet and gray scene instead of maize and blue.
Yeah, absolutely. I almost feel like it was a little warmer last year than it was this year, but obviously my third time, your second time.
Yes.
You ready to go?
I'm ready to go. We got the hand warmers, the toe warmers, everything you got in store, and we got some great football to look forward to, and that's what makes it all worth it at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Now we have our third member of the team. Chase Bachman is here with us as well. He was out surveying the tailgating scene earlier this morning. Chase, what did you find out?
Oh, guys, there's a ton of energy out there. I mean, just awesome. I mean, I don't know how much longer you need me to talk for. It's just an exciting presence out there in Columbus. I mean, the tailgating scene is amazing.
Thanks, Chase. Now, Noelle, this is, did you know, 120th meeting between these two. 120th meeting between these two teams. It's a storied rivalry that has a lot of chapters being written. Obviously, another one being written here today. This dates back all the way to 1897.
Wow.
Football field for the first time. Michigan wins, and the early years continue to treat the Wolverines well. 12 wins, no losses, and 2 ties through 1912. Fans got to know a different story in the last decade, a dominant Ohio State team. The Buckeyes took 8 straight from 2012 to 2019. Had COVID not canceled the 2020 matchup, OSU could have tied Michigan's record winning streak of 9 games straight in this rivalry. But that started in 1901 and included the series' largest beatdown, an 86-0 blowout in 1902. It's a face-off played at the end of the regular season every year since 1935, with a few exceptions. World War II in 1942, early December games against Hawaii on the island in 86 and 98, who could blame them? And the season stopped during the pandemic in 2020. There have been 6 ties in the series, but Michigan has upper hand all time. The record, 61 wins to the Buckeyes' 51. Now, OSU did have to vacate its 2010 victory over that school up north. That's when a memorabilia for cash scandal cost former coach Jim Tressel his job and led to star quarterback Terrell Pryor leaving the university. When both teams are ranked, Michigan holds a slight edge, 22 wins over OSU's 20 with 3 ties. But that's not the case this year. Ohio State is among the top teams in the country. The Wolverines, not in the top 25. When only one team has that distinction, history shows that team tends to win most of the time. So, history favors the Buckeyes, at least under these circumstances. But this rivalry is anything but predictable.
The wind here is obviously picking up. So many twists and turns within this rivalry. It continues to amaze me what all has gone on between these two programs.
The history is truly what's incredible, and it's funny because when Chase and I were going through the tailgates today, one guy, and I'll never forget what he said this morning, some people go to college for 4 years, but when you go to Ohio State, it lasts a lifetime. And when you think about it, so many elements go into what makes this rivalry so special. It's the coaches, it's the bands, but really at the end of the day, I think it comes down to the fans.
Absolutely. The fans are what make this game, this day, this season really so special. And obviously, like I mentioned before at the top of the show, Chase Bachman was out there. You were along with them as well. Chase, what'd you find out?
You guys, what is up? I'm here with Kevin. We're outside the Horseshoe right now. We're tailgating. The atmosphere is already incredible. So early before the game starts. Kevin, just show us around here. Show us your setup. It looks amazing.
All right, so we got the grill with the propane tanks inside, so we don't have to pull out the propane tanks to the grill. All the food station will be set up in this whole area down here. And hotel.
It looks incredible, by the way. Look at all that bread.
We're gonna have some burgers and some brats and some cheddar brats and all kinds of good stuff.
I see so many cookies. I see Timbits. I see donuts. I see chips. And by the way, this is an incredible truck. By the way, how long have you guys had this? This is amazing.
We've had this about 5 years. We've been down here for probably, well, since my father-in-law played on the '68 national championship team. So we've been down here. We set up this ambulance to kind of set up tribute to that team and some of the national championship teams, and we host some of their reunions every couple of years, and get a lot of ex-players to come down. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you guys have the TV set up. Are you guys going to be here the whole time? You're going to go into the stadium?
We'll go to the stadium. Sometimes we have people that'll stay out and watch the game right there, because you can also see it right there on the Jumbotron. So every tailgate needs a red Solo cup.
Yeah, look at that. You get the red Solo Cup dispensary. Check that out.
And a can crusher.
And a can crusher. This is amazing. This is one of the best setups I have ever seen. Kevin, thank you so much. This is so cool. I want to wish you guys all the success this morning. Have an awesome tailgate. Guys, we're going to throw it back to you.
Chase, thanks. It looks so much fun out there. And obviously we've been talking about how impactful the fans are for this rivalry, but obviously the outcome ultimately comes down to the guys who take the field. And a lot of time, preparation, and talent has gone into this year's Buckeyes team. And now we're going to hear from their star players on how they're feeling heading into today's game.
I'm honored, to be a part of this big rivalry, and like we said early in the week, if you haven't been through it, you don't know what it's like. So I'm kind of learning as we go. But this one's for all those guys that came back, man. This one's, this one means a lot, and I'm fired up. It's going to be an exciting game. I think the best rivalry in college football, man. So I just couldn't be more stoked to be a part of it, and we're fired up.
It's the whole reason most of us came back. I mean, the reason you come here is for this game, and I didn't feel right not at least trying another time to go and get a win here. So. It's really everything to us. We work every day throughout the entire year for this game, and so it would be silly not to try to go out and get another win. It's always in the back of your head. It's always like lingering over your head. So, I mean, really, it's what we're focused on. We want to use that as fuel, and really come out here and play our best game. That's what we're focused on. Just being prepared and playing our best game right now.
Now on the other side, the Wolverines hold a 3-game winning streak in this series, something Michigan is looking to embrace as the underdog today as they try to come in here and play spoiler.
They don't like us, we don't like them. Being able to go into Columbus and embrace that villain role, embrace being the underdog in a moment like this is something that is very motivating. It's something that every guy in the locker room can look at and look up to, and being able to silence the crowd like we did the last time is something that you can find a lot of fulfillment in.
Whether we were, 1-10 or 11-0 at this point, beating Ohio State's beating Ohio State, and that's an important. It's one of our goals for the year, right? Beating our rivals, getting bowl eligible, winning, those trophy games, and then a Big Ten championship, a national championship. Those are the goals every year, and beating Ohio State is on that list. And so anytime you can check one of those off, that's a really important thing. We're going to go in there, with full confidence that we're able to come out with a win.
Easy to sense that both these teams are hungry for a win. Now, Noelle, I want to ask you something. Have you been to Rossford very much yet?
A little bit, here and there.
Have you heard of Moe's and Danny's?
I have heard of it. I have not been. I've driven by a couple times, but what's the deal over there?
Okay, so Moe's and Danny's are sports bars. They're right next to each other, and they're known for obviously the sports fandom that they have. But the good thing about it, so I obviously encourage you to go next time you're in Rossford. The food is great. The atmosphere is amazing because obviously they're sports bars and plenty to watch. But because they're so close together, take a look at what makes them so special being so close together.
Along Dixie Highway in Rossford sits 2 sports bars, separated by a few steps, and their allegiance to college football. At Moe's Place, they root for the Buckeyes.
We give them free food, and just for the customers that are here at the reserved tables, and it's just I can't stress enough. It's just a fun weekend.
Danny's Cafe, on the other hand, owned by a proud Maize and Blue supporter.
Brad is a Michigan fan, and he considers us a Michigan bar, but I would say 99.9% are probably Ohio State fans all the time. I think they enjoy the camaraderie and the fact that Brad is a Michigan fan and likes to kind of get their jabs in with them on that.
Although the two establishments don't view each other as fierce competitors, like we'll all see in Columbus this afternoon, the stage game day provides hard to beat.
Rossford in general is a very big Ohio State, Michigan city. People in this town, to me, I always say it's almost bigger than Christmas to them. It's just, everybody goes crazy over it.
Excitement that warrants an all-hands-on-deck approach.
Kitchen opens at 11, but we'll be opening the doors at 10 to try to not have a big line out the door. We expect a huge crowd, for sure.
Down the street, customers are just as eager, reserving their spots a year in advance. And of course, enjoying a little sportsmanship inside too.
That's my niece, Adrian. She does all that.
Okay.
She went to Ohio State.
Okay.
So she brought that because when she went to school there, they do that down there.
Gotcha.
So she brought it to Rossford.
So how many M's are crossed out in this
A
bar?
lot. You look at them, even on the signs, she crossed them all off.
Whether Ohio State or Michigan, the game attracts all. But that's not to say favoritism won't be displayed.
Well, hopefully Ohio State beats them this year.
Yeah.
If not, we're in trouble.
It is so great to see that community engaged in this rivalry, and it truly details how special this game means to everyone. Opening an hour early, people reserving a year in advance to have a spot in these establishments. It's really so cool.
And I mean, how meaningful is this rivalry that it's a state thing? Everybody in the state of Michigan, everybody in the state of Ohio, even though we're here in Columbus, it still reaches the 419. So if you're going to go there in Rossford today, have so much fun and enjoy the game.
Yeah, and if you're at Rossford right now at the bars, hello, enjoy the game and have fun today on this Saturday. Well, it's time for our first break, Noel, but when we come back, we still got plenty more to get to, including a look at the weather here in Columbus and a guest appearance from a pair of guys. Well, that'll be later in the show. Stick around. There's plenty more coming up.